We continue our practice of solving quadratic equations by factoring. So here are a couple of different kinds of examples. I try to do as many examples as I can of things that you're possibly going to see as you go to do your homework and things. So same directions here. We're trying to find the solutions to the quadratic equations, and we're going to check our solutions and then also state the solution set. Okay, so this first one, x squared equal to 8 times the quantity x minus 2. All right, so we see the x squared term there. This definitely isn't set equal to 0, and we've got some parentheses involved. So the first thing you want to do is any algebra to get rid of the parentheses, and then you want to move terms over to the left-hand side. So leaving x squared alone for a moment, I'm going to distribute the 8 through on the right-hand side. So I'll have 8x minus 16. So now I'm going to do a couple steps at once, if you don't mind. I'm going to move the 8x and the 16 over to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to have x squared minus 8x plus 16, right? And I'll keep it balanced over here. So we got 8x minus 16 plus 16, right? Okay, so I've got x squared minus 8x plus 16 equal to 0. All right, so now factors of 16 that add to 8. Well, I would say negative 4 and negative 4, right? The other thing you can notice about this is that it's a perfect square trinomial, right? So if you take the square root of x squared and the square root of 16, you get 4x. If you multiply that by 2, you get 8x, right? Since we have a negative 8x in the middle, we're going to have x minus 4 quantity squared when we're done. Okay, so that's equal to 0. So, and again, if you don't notice the perfect square trinomial thing, just that initial question that I asked myself, factors of 16 that add to negative 8, well, I know that 4 times 4 is 16, so negative 4 minus 4 would be negative 8. Okay, so really there's just one factor there because you have x minus 4 times x minus 4. So if x minus 4 is 0, then that'll make the product 0. Yeah? Okay, so we have to add 4 to both sides, and we have x is equal to 4 as a solution. Okay, so let's check it. So in this case, we only have one solution. Let's just make sure it works. So does 4 squared equal 8 times the quantity 4 minus 2? Just sticking 4 in there into the equation. So 16 is equal to 8 times 2. Yes, 16 equals 16. It works. So the solution set is 4. Yes, you can have a set with only one element in it. That's okay. So in this second example, I have 2x squared minus x plus 15 equal to 30. Okay, careful here, folks. So a lot of you are just going to start trying to factor that. You have to set it equal to 0 first before you can do anything, right? So that's the ticket. Just like on in the first example, I had some algebra to do. I set it equal to 0, and then I started factoring. Because it's the fact that it's set equal to 0 that makes the whole deal, the whole zero product principle work, right? If you've got a product that's equal to 0, one of the two of them has to be 0. So with this, take 2x squared minus x plus 15, and I want to subtract 30 from both sides, right? Equals 30 minus 30. Okay, so I'm subtracting 30 from both sides. So that will give 2x squared minus x. 15 minus 30 is minus 15. Okay, equal to 0. Okay, so 2x squared minus x minus 15 equals 0. And now, then the question is, does it factor? Okay, so I want factors of, let's see, 2 times negative 15 is negative 30. So I want factors of negative 30 that add to negative 1. Negative 1 is the coefficient in front of x there, right? Okay, so what would that be? I think about 5 and 6, right, as having a difference of 1, but we have to get to negative 1, right? So if we have a negative 30, one of the two numbers in the product has to be negative. So negative, I'm going to go with negative 6 and positive 5, right? Because negative 6 plus 5 is equal to negative 1. All right. So use those numbers to rewrite the middle term, right? We got the AC method going here. 2x squared minus 6x plus 5x minus 15 equals 0. All right, so the negative 6x plus 5x gives us the negative x in the middle there. Okay, now notice I used the, one of the numbers was negative and I wrote it first, right? That's always helpful when you're using the AC method for the factor by grouping, because you don't have to pull out a negative 1 out of the second grouping. So that makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so in the first grouping of 2x squared minus 6x, we're going to pull out, what can we factor out there? A 2 and an x, right? So we'll have 2x times the quantity x minus 3, right? 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 3, negative 3 is negative 6x. Okay, and then 5x minus 15, what can we yank out of that? A 5, right? So we're going to have 5 times the quantity x minus 3. Okay, x minus 3 is common to both of those terms, so I'm going to pull that out, and I'll have x minus 3 times the quantity 2x plus 5. Right? All the leftover. Okay, so now it's in factored form. Now we can apply the zero product principle. X minus 3 equals 0, and 2x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, so with the x minus 3, we're going to add 3 to both sides, right? So we end up with x is equal to 3. And then over here with 2x plus 5 equals 0, we have to subtract 5 from both sides, right? 0 minus 5. So we get 2x equal to negative 5. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to negative 5 halves. Okay, so we have two solutions there. Let's check it. Check them, I should say. Now, we don't have very much room to do this. It's kind of a long problem, right? But let's take the time to plug both of these in. So we're going to plug both of these numbers into the original equation. Always go back to what you were originally given. Not even on the first step do you want to start plugging something else, because if you made any mistake throughout this, you won't find it. Go back to the original statement. So 2 times 3 squared minus 3 plus 15 equals 30. Okay. 2 times 9 is 18 minus 3 plus 15 is that 30. Well, 18 minus 3 is 15. 15 plus 15 is 30. I'm going to declare that good. We've got that. Okay, so let's check this last one of negative 5 halves. So if we stick this back in, we're going to have 2 times negative 5 halves quantity squared minus a negative 5 halves. So we're really adding there. Plus 15. Eek, does that equal 30? Okay, so negative 5 halves squared is 25 over 4, right? And a double negative gives a positive, so we're adding 5 halves. We're adding 15. Is that equal to 30? Okay, so 2 times 25 over 4 leaves 25 over 2, right? 2/4 is 1/2. Plus 5 halves plus 15. Does that equal 30? It should. Okay, so think about this. 25 plus 5 is 30, right? 30 over 2 is 15, and 15 plus 15, is that 30? Yep, it is. Okay, good. Okay, so the solution set is negative 5 halves and 3. Good. So we can see this gives a nice range of the different factoring techniques that we have utilized, right? This first example with a perfect square trinomial, and then this last one where we had to actually use the AC method. So basically, hopefully you're getting the drift of this. If you can apply the factoring techniques that we've used and that zero product principle, that's it. That's all that's new here in terms of solving quadratic equations. Okay, on to more practice.